intentions for the call are all on the agenda. I want to check in on regen farms, on give power, and then all those other things. I'm not so distracted, just like a little from all the morning's festivities. And I will pass it to Griff.
GM. Intentions are just to push forward, give power, and anything else that is on the thing. Lauren convinced me, Sam, that we don't need to put the money straight into the. I don't like it, but it makes sense not to have the givebacks go straight into the piece. So, whatever. It's sad.
We'll talk about it.
And distractions are still setting up and trying to answer DMs and stuff. So, and coordinate real life things. So I might be on and off this call. I'll pass it to Amin.
Hello, everyone. Again, my intention is to figure out GitPower spec. Actually, it needs brainstorming about how what you should do, and I'm happy to send it here. We can talk about in details. I think we should dedicate most of the time to design the GivePower smart contract, at least the behavior. I'm not about technical things. What you should do. And yeah, that's it. I had my distraction. I'm not distracted. Instead, I pass it to Cherek.
Thank you. I mean, hello guys, GM. My intention is to talk about give power because some part of it is unclear for me. And I'm not distracted. I pass it to Sam.
Hello guys. My intention is to update a little bit about what is going on with the give power. I am not distracted. I am a little bit I don't know which is the word. Frustrated maybe, because it is getting more difficult than I was thinking, but no worries, we will go through it. But for this week I do not have a lot of things to show, except for the things that last week I showed to you, like the things that were not working last week, they are working this week, but the things that I wanted to bring this week, they do not work. I will pass it to Jess.
GM, just writing down my stuff. My intent is to keep up with everything that's going on, or as much as I can. My distractions. I am about to open up the event calendar for the public, and of course I'm at the office and trying to keep up with everything. I'm not even sure who to pass it to. I have no idea who's next. Anybody haven't gone?
Let me see. Mohammed.
Thank you. Hey everyone. Good morning, good evening. I'm here to staying in the loop and sync up with you. And I have no distraction. I pass it to Kotabe.
Oh no, I muted instead of unmuted. GM everyone, how are you doing? Hope everyone is doing good. I'm here, also to sync up with most of the GIVeconomy work that is being done. And so I give a little bit of update of Region Farms. And that's it. On a side note, my role proposal is in the NR Give. So thanks. I'll pass it. I don't know, maybe Jeff.
I think just Monique is left. Monique, do
Sorry, I'm having connectivity problem. Sorry, guys, I have connectivity problem. I can't hear you.
Oh, try leaving and coming back.
You can skip me, I think, for now. Sorry.
Okay, cool. Thanks, Monique. Cool. Well, great. That's all. That's all for check-ins. So, I mean, first thing I want to check in on, I don't think it will take too long, but it is sort of important, is just the regen farm, and then we can move into talking about Give Power more in depth. So Cult ETH regen farm, I think we're ready to launch, right? I mean, can we like give a check-in? Yeah. Check in on some blockers. Like, I know we were waiting on some DApp testing, and we need to release it with some other DApp features.
Actually, the Cult ETH implementation and new features are intertwined, and we cannot release it without the others. So we should wait for the next release of the Giveth DApp 2. And then I will deploy the smart contracts and set the initial, the start time 1 week after that, because it's a requirement to see 1 week countdown for farms.
Yeah, and sorry for my internet connection. Yeah, I'm trying to finalize the things that we have right now. Right now we have two problems. One major thing is view of the status of the donations. That's waiting for the guys to get everything tested, and also for the donations on the Gnosis chain, it won't get verified, as I get know on recent testing. And this we have these problems right now, so we can't go live. Sorry.
Okay. So wait, this is just requiring testing.
Yes.
Is anybody testing, like Algene, or is anybody in this call testing? Is anybody testing?
I asked her to test the issues that we have from the QA. Right now, testing is not that enough because we know what the problem is, and if they create some more issues related to the existing problems, it won't solve anything, I think. Now, I was thinking that today we get stabilized and we can go on general testing, but I was wrong. Recently I found out some things that Ramin should fix it. But for the other things, yeah, we can do general testing, and also we can work with Algene to do it. Also, I asked Dan yesterday, and I'm also doing the rest of the testing, the remaining features that we have on the stage.
Okay. Cool. So potentially, I mean, do you think it's possible that it would be ready tomorrow, or likely not?
Yeah, 50%.
50%. Okay. Okay, cool. Well, great. I think that is the only other blocker for call. I mean, that's kind of a big blocker, but I think not too much we can resolve right now in this call. But except like rallying some more testers. So let's move on to Give Power. Do maybe, like, I know Amin has some questions and Sam has some updates. Maybe I'll just like pass it to you guys to get the ball rolling on like what we should get through and discuss here.
Sorry, Lauren, before we get to Give Power, I had this requirement several times before that let's have a separate branch for GIVeconomy, please. And I can manage it, but I really want you also follow it up, not to get blocked for the other features that we have for the DApp. Thank you.
Yeah, that makes sense. So Okay, yeah. I'll talk to you about that and like what I need to do for that, but I think we just have the devs work on a specific branch for GIVeconomy. I don't know if we need another repo or what, but that sounds good to me. I think it's nice to kind of have them also some way separated. Okay, give power.
Yeah, go ahead, Sam.
Well, I have some of the questions that you were asking. I don't know if you had others.
Yeah, that's important because I can ask them again. You answered me, but there are something ambiguous and affects the user experience. As I saw, we will in order user to get minimum APR, they should wrap first. He should wrap its token to GGIV and then lock for 0 period, right? So basically, every user, in order to get by default APR, needs to do 3 transactions. First, approve token. Second, wrap GGIV and wrap to GGIV, and then lock for 0 period, right? And yeah, and if user has locked for 2 rounds, and after 2 rounds we unlock it automatically, he do not get reward until we stake that automatically for 0 rounds, but we don't have control over it. And that's the part that it's not clear for me. Also, if you want, I want to get my give back, I need to do two transactions, one unlock and then unwrap. And whether is it desirable for user to see this, we can address it, but it probably it's up to you. You may have solutions. Yeah,
the multiple transactions is because we are approving to the token contract, wrapping to the token manager contract, and locking to the Unipool contract. They are 3 different contracts, and 2 of them we do not have 100% of the control. So trying to mix, for example, the last 2 transactions, the wrapping and locking, it will require a modification to the token manager that I think that it should not be part of the scope, because we do not have that much control over it. It will require to upgrade the token manager for all the gardens. It would make us ask for the APM keys. It's too much of a hassle in order to just reduce one of the calls. When you unlock, remember that you have it unlocked automatically, because we will have a service that actively looks for unlockable give power. So it will get unlocked automatically, and you will see that I have my give power again to the baseline, which is a multiplier of 1, and I can unlock it when I want. But that second transaction will not be unlocked; it will be just unwrap, right? So the unlocking.
Let's say it will not be base. It will not be 0 reward, because it will unstake token. So you will have GGIV, but nothing, no APR. Your APR will be 0 for that token that's unlocked.
No. The idea is that when you lock GGIV, when you stake GGIV, or when you have GGIV, you receive 1x of the reward.
Because it's our plan, right? It's not ready, but it's our plan, right?
No, it should be in the contract. It is like this, because what we do is to take the square root of the rounds plus 1. So if you lock for 0 rounds, then it's square root of 0 plus 1, which is 1. So the multiplier is 1. If you lock for 1 round, it is a square root of 2. If you lock for 3 rounds, it's a square root of 4, which is 2, I think. Yeah. I don't do well with square roots, but the idea is that it's the rounds plus 1 and all of it square rooted.
You know, as it is implemented right now, only the lock method does the staking, right?
Yes. Yeah.
And
In order to just stake.
Can we have the same functionality that you know, the same functionality that our Garden Unipool has right now? You know, we have a Garden Unipool token distributor. On transfer, it stakes the same amount, and when the user locks, we compute the additional things that the additional power that it gets actually, and stake that's left the remaining part rather than you know, of course this smart contract can change in future. I think you have plans for it.
I think that the 3 calls will be still necessary, even if you don't want to lock it for many rounds. But you can always lock for 0 rounds, which is the same as not unlocking it, right? But the idea is that you can receive rewards even if you lock for 0. I still have to check that last one. And basically what I am, which is going to be the next steps in order to have the give power farming, is to change the contract so it can be an upgrade of the old Unipool that we already have. Because if you remember last week, I just replaced it, but it was like, oh, okay, but what do we do with the people who already have stake in it? And this makes it a little bit complicated. So the idea is to just rewrite it in order to make it compatible with the old state of the contract, so we do not have to do anything weird with that. It obviously makes things complicated.
Yeah, it makes it complicated. So yeah, we can discuss it further. I mean, in another call, I and you. Yeah, my dream is to, if user just do 2 transactions, you know, approve and wrap, it gets the base fee. They gets the base APR, default APR, and when we unlock it automatically, it again gets the base APR, and people who had a stake will again have the base APR. Yeah, we can discuss it later. So what we are sure is that at this moment we need 3 transactions and we cannot reduce that to lock token. Approve, wrap, and yeah, and it affects the design. As Mo said here, we discussed it last night, that I told them that we need 3 transactions, and it's admitted that it's not possible to have two. We need 3 transactions. That's good. Thank you. For now, it's okay.
Also, that's okay to have 3 transactions. I have to work on the design, but also I have one more question. They also have to let user manage the wrapped token, because basically you can approve and then wrap token, like you mentioned last night. I mean, the user should be able to do something with those wrapped token, and also the token that are going to be unlocked. They basically the wrapped token. They are not completely free of everything. I mean, and it's basically different from going through the same model to stake and lock. They are basically wrapped, and you have to just lock them.
Yeah, we should be plan. We should have plan. For instance, if someone goes to Garden and wrap tokens, we should be able to manage those wraps token in our UI. Yeah, we should see this. Thank you for reminding that.
Okay.
Cool. Go ahead, Lauren, or Sam, everyone.
Sounds good. Okay, cool. So then the next question I had, well, I want to know what Cherek's question was about the pop-ups or the modals. You were saying you're having an issue, Cherek?
No, I have the same issue because I don't know, is it two-step or three-step, and the design should change or not. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Okay,
And
so
also,
I guess
I have some questions about the calculations, but I think we can talk about it later.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, sounds good. Cool. So that makes sense. So it sounds like we'll update a little bit the design on the Give Farm side. Do we need to like set up another call to focus more specifically on Give Power stuff? I mean, I think we'll probably just have time in this call as well. But I would love to like kind of sort out all the issues, at least on the Give Farm side, because like we can take the time now. We don't have so much else on the agenda besides Give Power. Like this other stuff won't take as long. So
I might, yeah, my dream is to have more calls with Sam and discuss it further, and I'm up to help him. And another thing, also, I should coordinate the subgraph and the one-by-one call and ad hoc calls with them. But if others have any idea, please.
Also, I think maybe it's better to. I mean, I'm going to update the design, and then I have to set up a call with Amin and Sam, and also you, Lauren, I think, and make sure that we take care of everything in the whole flow, and we don't miss anything later.
okay, that sounds good. So it sounds like we need Sam, Amin, Mo, me. Who's working on the front end? Is it Cherek or Mateo? I'm not sure. Cherek, okay. So Cherek and Fabio for the subgraph.
In regards of the subgraph, I exposed the ABI and and the events are already added. So I don't know if that was what was required or you still need more things.
Sam, I prepared, a mic one. I deployed mic one that has the events, and you can lock, unlock, and it's not connected to anything to token manager and Unipool. So you can enter arbitrary numbers. The run duration is 5 minutes for tests. I gave it to Fabio. He's prepared something. It's cool, but he needs some changes to happen. He has deployed it to a private repo, Give Power subgraph under Giveth organization on GitHub. If you want to look at, it's not finished, but we are working on that. Answer for information. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so you deployed the contract, right?
Yeah, the last version that we had, but I commented out some parts that checks the balance, that not exit the user, and the part that it's staked, I guess, or no, I'm not sure. I should see that. but it's working right now. You can like and unlike after the run finishes.
Okay. Yeah, I am doing the same with Hardhat, and I am having problems. I still didn't. I still wasn't able to detect what is going on. I don't know if it's the it may be connectivity issues actually with the Block Scout archive node. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. This is the things that I am working on right now, on having a battery of tests that allows us to say, okay, what happens when we log for 0 rounds, when we log for 1 round, how it is going to be unlocked, and so we have a more clear understanding of which are the possibilities of the contract and what are we missing. I still don't have a lot of clarity on that, unfortunately.
If I can help, please tell me.
Do you think we should have a dedicated call for this tomorrow? Is that too soon or reasonable?
I think that most of the things that we can do can be asynchronously, because I like to be able to travel tomorrow actually.
What about Friday?
Sam, what do you think if I and you can have a call today and I take over some tests and work on it and then deliver to you when your travel is finished? We can discuss what was the progress.
Yeah, I think that I would prefer to have the call today, later, when if it or today or next week. I mean,
yeah, today after calls, you have after your calls finish and you have if you find any opportunity, please ping me. I'm available today. Or I just have a couple of calls after this, but after that I'm totally available.
I mean, it will probably be more productive for me if we distantiate the calls. I can have a call with you, totally. We can have a quick call. The thing is that it is easier when we just write asynchronously, and it gives us more time to work on the actual stuff. Let's have a call in like few hours, and I can update with which were the problems that I had. But I will not extend that too much.
Okay.
Hey, just a quick question, Sam. And I'm sure the answer is no, but there's no way to lock, to like stake, to wrap give tokens and create GGive for proxy, right? Like that's not built in, I assume.
Yeah, no, it is not possible. No, I was checking it out.
Because that does seem like a decent feature for composability for all gardens that might be useful.
Yeah, I tend to agree with that. Let me check the code again. I can share the screen as well.
Because if we had a buy proxy or a wrap proxy, then we could just create a smart contract, a go middleman, and that could do all of the work. I guess. No, I guess it still wouldn't help us because then we still have to stake.
This is the function. So it basically checks which is the person who is sending, and what it does is to mint to that specific person. So if instead of wrapping an amount, you specify who to wrap it to,
Yeah.
then it would work. You could wrap for somebody else from a contract. The thing is that it is also doing a safe transfer from, and it is better that you make a safe transfer from for the message sender. You don't want to do a safe transfer from somebody else, or maybe yes. I don't know. I think that we are looking at a very small piece of the entire thing that we have to do. If it's 2 or 3 transactions, I don't think that it will change a lot. And I mean, from the user perspective, and experience, it won't change a lot if it's 2 or 3 transactions. But adding this change is like changing the token manager contract.
Yeah, totally. I was just checking, and I think that we can just make a special effort like Gardens did to have that little pop-up transaction modal that shows step 1, step 2, step 3. So you're going to sign 3 transactions. Get ready for it.
Yeah.
The last 2 can be done synchronously, though, right? Like you have to wait for the approve to do the. You have to wait for the approve first, but then the last 2 can just pop up together, right?
I think that all 3 can be popped up together because you have a counter. You are not going to pass one before the other. Why should you wait for one to pass in order to pop up the other?
I mean, this is the approve issue. The estimate gas fails when you don't have the approve already there.
Ah, wow. Okay.
And the rest
Yeah, it
also
makes sense. Yeah. The other 2 can be signed one after the other.
It's fucking annoying. It's like wallet UX. Anyway, go ahead, Amin.
I have an idea. What if we have two different unipools? One for we keep the current garden unipool, and we have the give power, which for locking. It should be something like another token manager hook, but it checks the balance on the garden unipool for locking. And when it's locked, user cannot unlock if it has, if user cannot unwrap its GIVE. But the point is that here we will have 2 unipools, and each will have different reward. We can read the parameters for if we go for it and give power have be another unipool, it can get the basic parameters like reward rate and other stuff from the existing unipool. It's something that I and Sam can discuss later, I suppose, but it comes to my mind right now.
It makes sense not to. It quite makes sense not to deprecate the old unipool and create a new one, which is going to be the default one. So we leave time for people to just unwrap from the old unipool, and I will say you will not deprecate the old unipool. You will not remove the hook. You will just add a new extra hook.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you get it. And we can pay, when user unlock, we pay him the reward. Pay reward to user. At the same time, the reward will be paid on the token distro.
Yeah.
And not wait for on staking from the basic info.
The problem I see with that that will work. I think that will work. We will not have to upgrade the old Unipool, which is something a little bit crazy because you have to check out that everything matches perfectly when you upgrade a contract. We just deploy a new one, we leave the old one there, the people can still unstake without any problem.
But from the user experience perspective, I think it would make it much more complex than rather than having the card with 3 transaction steps. We can actually keep the old card, so user can wrap their token, and also they can access to that wrapped token in the GivePower card. But also we have to let user to wrap their token directly from the GivePower card, because it would make it much more complex to tell user that you have to go to that card to wrap your token and then come back here to lock your token. I think it's more complex. It's better
Yes.
to actually update the GivePower to support 3 transaction rather than redirecting user to different places to just do something that they can do in one place.
I agree. I agree that it can be detached. The technical implementation on the blockchain side can be detached of the front end. You can have one card in the front end that interacts with 2 unipools behind of it.
It doesn't interact with the first unipool. The first unipool is just for harvesting the base, but you will get your reward when you unlock your token. You won't get when you are, your reward is calculated, but when your reward is unlocked, you can get your reward.
I support your idea, and it's really nice because this way I don't need to change the design, but also it's not easy for the user to understand the whole thing, because they are in 2 separate area, and for user to draw a line between those things and understand that you're basically the same thing, it's much harder. And I don't think that we can easily communicate that to user that if you wrap your token in this area, you will get a reward on that area. That's what I'm saying.
If we don't want to change token manager, it's inevitable to have 3 transactions to lock your token. It's inevitable. So if we go for either way, the new design or the previous one, we need to do 3 transactions to what's the term? To lock your token. And the idea that I told, if we can design the GivePower harvest in order to the GivePower unlock can harvest also the existing garden unipool. We can do it. When you unlock your token, you get both the reward of a garden and both. Let's tell it that when you the GivePower is another unipool, is another farming. You have reward, but whenever you harvest both this and the GivePower unipool and existing unipool. It's either we should so in user experience still we will have 3 transactions to lock your token, 1 transaction for getting your reward, and Yeah, unlocking still is another transaction, and getting your money back from the garden is one transaction.
Sorry. I think I think I understand something wrong. I don't know, but you have to do one transaction to get your reward. That reward is actually, I mean, the give power is actually part of that reward, or it's
You get some reward. You can get all them in one reward. Based on what's in my mind. I should discuss it with Sam Porter later. But by one transaction, you can get the reward of both the existing unipool and give power. And user do not need to know that.
Sorry, Lauren. Right now we don't harvest give power. I think that's something that you have when you lock your token, and if we are going to have the transaction, that's going to be changed, right? Or maybe it's totally my misunderstanding.
Give power.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I mean that give power gives you reward besides other benefits that you have, and that reward should be claimable, like what we get rewards from farming right now. And if we have two unipools, two farms for give power, one the existing garden that you get the base APR, and one the give power farming that gives you an additional reward. Both the reward of both can be harvested by single transaction, but it's based on what is in my mind. We can define the unipool of the give power to when you claim for the same user on the garden unipool also. So we have actually two harvests in single transaction. Because as I know, the guard, everyone can claim the reward for everyone. It's not needed to only the user itself claim the reward. I can check it again.
Okay, got it.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so I really think like even if we do it like that way in the contracts, we don't really need to change the design. We can still make it look exactly the same, where you show your staked give, your give power somewhere else, you show an APR, you click harvest, you get rewards. I think like the user experience doesn't need to change at all. Okay, cool. So I think there's still probably a lot more to discuss about give power, but like, is there anything pressing that wants to be discussed about give power right now, or should we move on to like the other last few topics?
Lauren, did you say that you changed something on give power that, for example, I don't at the very beginning you said that you convinced Griff of something?
Yeah, it's because I was like reading your comments from before, and you know how like with the user, right now it's like user gets givebacks, and we wanted their givebacks to be automatically turned into give power and then allocated to the project that they donated to. And you were saying that like this adds a lot of scope to the contracts and makes things like really complicated. I'm not sure if you resolved that problem, but I convinced Griff that we could make it happen in the front end. Basically, it's like the user goes to claim their givebacks. They get a pop-up that's like, you donated to these projects. Do you want to participate in Give Power? And then they click a button that sends them to stake and blah, blah, blah. Because like I think the user will need to have like all the transactions in order to have their givebacks, what they get from the token distro, be like staked and wrapped and then locked, and then they get give power for it, and then it gets allocated. I think there's like multiple transactions that they need to do that I'm not really sure it's easy for us to force, and we just make it friendly in the front end, so they click claim and they get a pop-up that shows them projects.
I remember this discussion. Griff was saying that it was important to enforce, and also it was a problem. I think that we can still check that out again, Griff, when it is the moment. but
Yeah,
it is way easier to pop up a MetaMask transaction.
it's fair. I mean, it's really nice for the token economy if givebacks end up locked and there's friction to getting them out of the system, you know? But it's okay. I can understand how the way the token distro is set up is not favorable to that. And we can live with just a cultural push for locking in give back. Because right now, most people who collect their givebacks, honestly, so many people that collect givebacks just donate it. So many people. And so, like, if we say, hey, do you want to support them by locking it? That would, you know, that would get us 50% of the way there, and it's good enough.
Cool.
Yeah. Cool. Nice. So that sounds good, right? I mean, I feel like the other way it sounds is very complicated, and I'm not sure how we do it because it's coming from the token distro.
Exactly. This reduces the scope, for sure.
Okay, cool. So then that adds scope onto design, though. So we can hang out and talk about how we can represent that. Like, basically, I think then when the user claims givebacks, they have some pop-up that shows their project. So it adds design scope, but cuts down a lot of scope in the context.
I still think that the design is not that modified because you just have to sign another transaction. It happens in the front end. I mean, it happened in the JavaScript part, not in the front end.
I think.
And just to confirm, it's only one transaction to do multiple assignments, right?
Yes.
But the design should be changed because I mean the way that I designed, I was thinking that you have this amount of give and then you stake them and lock them. But right now we have in the middle we have the GGive. I mean you wrap your give token and then you have the GGive. And also, I mean last night mentioned that if you don't lock your token, for example, those GGive remain there, and also when they're unlocked, there are also still be GGive, and we have to manage those GGive, and that's why I think we have to change the design.
No, you don't need to change the design at all. I think you stake, you get GGive, it's somewhere, you don't need to look at it. It just shows that you have give. It just shows that you have give power. Like, regardless of the user having GGive and stuff, like in the contracts, and it's like we can still have it represented exactly the same way on the front end because it's easy to understand that way. It's like, oh, I staked my give, I locked it, I have this API, I have this multiplier. Those are the things that we show the user. But it's like what's actually happening is that they're like wrapping tokens and then they're getting GGive, and I guess those GGive are getting locked. But it's like we don't need to explain to them that.
Also, something that when you are sending when you are locking your give power when you receive the give back, you don't have to change the design. You just you don't have to explain where it's going to go if you don't want.
I guess
it can be exactly the same. If you want to add it, it's optional.
Yeah, maybe we don't need to add it, but I think it would be nice if it's like the user goes to claim their givebacks and it like shows them which projects they had donated to, and then it's like, do you want to support these projects with your give power, or like, and then they get to know what give power is. Like, I think it would be an opportunity to explain them about give power. But yeah, I mean, we don't have to add that to scope if we don't want to.
I will reduce the scope also in the design part.
Okay. We just leave it like it is. So the user goes to claim givebacks, and it's like, do you want to support your projects with give power? A simple pop-up, and we're done. Okay.
So we don't really need to change the design for staking and locking and unstaking, whatever.
Yeah, I think the only thing you need to change is just like add one more, like, you know how it says like approve and then like stake or something, approve and then lock. It needs to be like approve and then wrap and then lock, so they like click a button 3 times, but not really like much big change. Just add the wrap or call it stake, but
Or simply we can add the steps to this model.
exactly. Adding the step that's exactly what I meant. Just said better. Add the steps to the modal.
Okay.
Thanks, Monique. Great. Okay, we just have a few minutes left, and I think we should just touch on the last few things that are on the
Multi-sig.
what? Sign a multi-sig transaction. If Mitch sent you a multi-sig transaction, sign the multi-sig transaction to make the
Signed.
Gnosis give. Signed. Yeah, cool.
It's in the multi-sigs channel.
It's in the multi-sigs channel. If you're on the multi-sig, liquidity mining multi-sig, help.
Help!
Public service announcement.
Help!
The other things I wanted to talk about are give farm extension check-in. So that was deployed on staging, the give die, but it should be give X die. I guess this is just ready for testing, right? I mean, I'm talking about the new give X die pool that we're gonna have on the give farm. I don't know where it is.
Yeah, the PR is not approved, you know. You hear me?
Yeah.
It's there,
Yeah,
I
okay.
think.
Yeah, it's there.
Yeah, it's there. And Mitch says he actually already tested it. Oh wow, look, and it's wow.
And I
It has
fixed the icon.
updated it. Oh, look at you!
Wow, huh?
He fixed the way it looks, so it's good.
I think so.
Great.
Amin just had the small issue we had with the subgraph, and I responded to your comment. It looks good.
Cool. So small issue on subgraph needs to be updated. Yeah.
No, it's fixed.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is good. We're basically just like ready to launch this when the time comes in a few weeks.
Yeah, exactly.
Yay! Amazing.
And to archive the Give Honey pool, I suppose.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. Need to archive Give Honey pool. So when we extend the rewards program, the Give Honey pool should be archived.
What was your final form? Because I couldn't tell the difference between like the percentages.
For what?
The extending the gift farm? Is that what we're talking about?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So taking a bit away from the Give Eat farm.
Okay, cool.
And then giving more to the Give X Die farm.
Okay, cool.
But then still de-incentivizing Give staking on mainnet, but then maintaining Give staking on Gnosis chain for Give power.
Cool.
So the extending farm is not finalized yet, right? The parameters are not.
I mean, I think we have to do a vote,
I think
right?
we need to vote on them, but it's up in the forum. Like Mitch made a new proposal for the new allocation amounts, and
well, yeah, the soft poll was pretty much in favor. Griff was the only one who wanted to change it, and then assuming that Griff's happy with it, I think we have enough on the soft poll that it doesn't need to go any further.
on the forum and let us know if you're happy.
Yeah, and then I think I'm pretty happy.
Griff was the only dissenter, and now he's happy. So I think we can just go with it.
So we're good with the new suggestion that Mitch made in the forum. I mean,
Okay, just tell me finally what should be implemented to not be confused. Yeah.
cool. I'll let you know.
It still has to go through a vote.
You want to vote on it, Griff?
I mean, to allocate rewards, we have to vote, don't we?
From the NRG.
Allocate
from the main
rewards.
Oh yeah, we have to send it from liquidity. Yeah.
So we need to make a snapshot.
No, it's just a multi-sig transaction.
Okay.
In the liquidity.
Well, we'll have to do a snapshot vote to extend the gift farm rewards, right? To use the liquidity multi-sig.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess like using this configuration. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. We need to make a snapshot vote for the rewards. Do you want to do that? Do you want?
Yeah,
I can do it if you want.
Okay.
Mitch will do it. Okay, so Mitch will make a snapshot vote to ratify the amount of give that we're going to be putting into it, and then we can make the liquidity mining multi-sig transaction to send it. Great. Other things, region pool setup. I think we can talk about this mostly in the next call, but Mo and I had worked on like a little bit of like a design for this like incentivizing Fey deposits, but we're really waiting on getting approval from the community via Snapshot. Todd is working on a summary forum post. But yeah, we only have 3 more minutes. I'd love to check in with Kotabe and hear any updates on outreach for regen farms. Anybody interested?
Hey, yeah. So I can give a basic update. We are talking with Opolis. Conversation there is moving forward a little bit, slow but steady. Give me one sec. Let me check my. Talk with Santi Siri again from UBI. They are moving forward with the UBI V2, but probably the best timing will be our follow up at the beginning of August. Then with Ant, we're going to start a thread probably today with the community in the Discord of the community to see, to have like a temperature check and start the conversation. And then they said that maybe the forum was not the best place, but they also have another forum which is support.aragon.org, and there are third-party products, and that it will be really good for DAOs that are working with Aragon tools. Other than that, mostly there are like 3 more that it's not the best timing, or like communication has gone cold, and most of them say something like 12 of the people that have answered are not good fits, basically. And I'm just seeing that yesterday we had 3 more people filling out the questionnaire. I don't know why, but that's cool. Happy with that.
Cool. No, nice. Thank you so much, Dan, for the updates and for keeping them all moving. I really appreciate that. Okay, we have 1 minute till the end of the call, and the call is over. Now it's not my 9 a.m. Thanks everybody for your attention and time, and we can sync up later on these things. Talk to you soon.
Okay.
Thank you, Lauren. Thank you, guys. Goodbye.
Bye.